The number one question we get is, how much did we pay for 40 acres of unorganized land? Today we are sharing with you some listings and what we were looking for, some tips and advice, and in the end, we will share how much we paid. But before we start, we wanted to introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Gina.
And I'm Thi. A couple of months ago, we sold our home in the country and bought 40 acres of land.
We are temporarily living in our RV in the middle of the Canadian wilderness, and we are completely off-grid.
I have many years' experience in the construction industry, and will be sharing with you our journey and challenges as we build our dream home for our family.
Let's just say we know this is not going to be easy, but nothing easy is worthwhile.
So join us as we share our ups and downs of living off-grid in the Canadian Shield.
So we're just going to jump right into showing you some properties so you can kind of get an idea of what is out there. Now, we are in Ontario, Canada. It's going to look different depending on where you live.
All right, so when we started looking for properties, at first it was a bit confusing, right? Because we tried some websites that some friends recommended us. I'll show you one of them. So the first time we used to go on this website here, we just searched for Unorganized.
And you can definitely do a search if you want to and check, websites and see what is out there. But I mean, it doesn't show, it shows a bit, but this is definitely not where we found our land.
All right, so when we started looking in this website, recreational land, we noticed that everything that was actually good, with like good access and stuff, we're going to talk more about it, was gone pretty fast. And so we didn't find this website very helpful, and especially most of them that they had here was like stuff with no access.
Road access. And when we say access, is road access, because you can buy land that does not have road access, and those lands are going to be cheaper. But maybe you are looking for that and you're fine with that. And for us, definitely we wanted road access. That was important for us. So one of these lands, just you kind of gotta look at like what you can get for this amount, but let's
access this much land.
Okay, so
close to Iroquois Falls.
Iroquois Falls. Okay, let's go down a bit more. Okay, a unique property located in the unorganized township of Man, about 35 kilometers from Iroquois Falls. That's northern Ontario. What are the benefits of land unorganized? Low property tax, no official plan, so that means no zoning or zoning bylaws, no building permits, build what you want without having to worry about city council, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so property rights. You have surface rights, comes with property. That's really, really important. You want surface rights if you're going to build a home. Tree rights come with property, other than the pine trees, which are reserved to the crown. So that's really awesome. You have tree rights, so meaning that you could sell those trees. For us, we do not have tree rights, meaning that we can't sell the trees legally in our property. We do have mining rights, so if we ever find gold, we can sell the gold. So that's what kind of different types of rights mean.
The part I wanted to get
how
to
to
access the property. So from the north, at the intersection of Highway 11 and Cameron Potter Road, the ice road was constructed so that the timber contractor could haul the wood harvest in the winter. You can follow this former ice road for 6.3 kilometers right to the start of this property. The former ice road is best an Argo, maybe ATV trail at best today. So yeah, this is the
huge issue.
If you find something that's cheap and has a lot of acreage, most likely it's because either it's wetland or
it doesn't have road access. Like this right here, you can't, like when we say ATV trail, we mean ATV trail. We have a couple of ATV trails here, and you cannot go with your truck. We have a big truck and we cannot go on these trails. So what does that mean? 6.3 kilometers that they have to go of ice road?
That's long. 6.3 kilometers, even if you like make the road nice, it might not be shoveled. Like it might not be maintained
during the winter
by any city or anything like that. So you would have to take care of that yourself.
That's a lot of work. So that's something to consider, and that's why a property would be cheaper. Okay.
And also keep in mind that when we're talking about looking for property is in the context of for homesteading or for building a house. So this property would be great for someone who just wants to get on their ATV and go hunting. But like in our context of what we're talking about is in the context of getting something to build. It's not practical to haul all your material on your ATV. It's possible, but like especially if you need big trucks to go and deliver materials, like they're not going to go on those roads.
They're not, yeah.
So yeah, keep that in mind also. If you're planning on building something and you want to get materials into the property, access is huge. And also in the winter time, gets lots of snow. Like if you're not ready to take care of those 6+ kilometers of road, like
you need heavy machinery. Heavy machinery costs money, and that's something to consider. Let's go to another one now, and then we'll show you the listing and how to look at the listing. So what's the first thing that you're probably going to put in?
let's say you want to see close to North Bay.
So you would go to the filter section.
All right. Property type, vacant land, and let's say the maximum price. In Ontario, everything's expensive, so let's just put 300,000 for now.
And we can't tell you what affordable means, because what affordable is for us might not be for you. So you have to see what your budget is first, I think. So the 3 things you have to consider is budget, location, and size. What acreage are you looking for? Because all those 3 things will affect what you can afford. So you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, so for us, we were looking at 5 acres and above just because we wanted something that would have wood, like lumber, so that we could use it for heating and in the winter time, because winter is a huge concern here in North America. So having something with a lot of trees would definitely be beneficial for us. All right, so here in Northern Ontario, it popped up like how many? 10 listings.
10 listings, yeah.
All right, so let's click on this first area over here. There's one for 99,000.
Is that unorganized? It's on North Bay.
Right now I'm just doing a general search.
Oh, general. Okay, so
it's
just
not
general.
Unorganized yet.
It's really
but it
pretty.
might be.
Look, it's really nice. 100,000. A lot of different trees.
I have a feeling this was still in the market like a year ago.
Yeah, right? A rare find. Build your home on this 5 acres surrounded by outdoor enthusiast paradise, blah, blah, blah. Approximately 2050 by 870. Mail, garage, and recycling pickup. Well, that's pretty good because sometimes when you do have... Oh, it's 17 days on the market. I think they relisted it. Okay. Anyways, sometimes you will find that certain places, they won't have garbage pickup. They won't even deliver your mail or recycling pickup. So that's really nice. Road maintained all year round. That's awesome. 5 minutes to everything. Otter Lake has to offer, including beach and trails. I'm not going to read all of it.
Yeah, so you see here the annual property tax is around close to $1,000. And that's without a house. So after, when you get your, if this is not unorganized, you would apply for permits. And then after, when you're done your final inspection, they'll probably reevaluate and your property taxes will probably go higher after you finish building your house. So let's see here.
If you have unorganized land, your property tax will... I mean, it won't go up because there's no one checking to see, or there's no permits that you're getting and no checks to see, oh, did the value go up? So your property taxes usually are very, very low. For example, we pay $100 in property tax for 40 acres of land. So, but would it go up? It can go up just because of the government just raising property tax, but it's not because of what is on our land, if that makes sense.
And that doesn't happen very often either.
It doesn't happen very often, yeah. And
also look at the zoning description, because obviously you're going to have to do a lot of research before you put your money into a property. But a first sign is here the zoning. If it says industrial, commercial, it's already a red flag that maybe you won't be able to do what you want. But here it says rural. You can just search for that information online.
Based on what you're saying here, do you think this seems organized land? North Bay is organized.
Yeah, I think if it was unorganized, it would have said it over here.
Not only that, the property taxes seem a little bit high.
And also another thing to check is like the map. Where's the map here? Directions. Okay, so like let's say I wanted to take a look at what the ground looks like. It's giving me directions from Toronto, I guess.
Yeah.
I would zoom in. So I see it's close to a provincial park. That's nice if you like being around nature. Alright, and yeah, you can see here this line crossing. It's probably a train track, and a lot of people don't want to be hearing a train, or if they have small kids, they're scared that, you know, might be dangerous to be around a train track. Also, keep in mind that sometimes the point on the map is not actually where the property is. You would have to do a little bit of research to figure out. But from the pictures, I did see a train track. So you have to find out if the property is on the north side or where it is.
And sometimes you just have to get in contact with the real estate agent, and they're going to give you the exact coordinates. That's what we had to do with some properties when we went looking. So, okay, let's go to another case study. So that one was 100,000. What was it? How many acres? Like 5 acres?
And it was close to a train track, right?
Close to a train track. I mean, I wouldn't want this land personally, but that's just because what we would feel like what we're looking for. We were definitely looking for unorganized township just because of the permits. That was a huge one for us, and the freedom to do what we wanted to do. There was this person on a Facebook group, and they mentioned that they couldn't put solar in because they were in a township where for you to get solar, because you need permits to have a solar system. So for you to get a permit on your home has to be over, I think it was 1,000 or 1,200 square feet, and their home was only 800 square feet. So they had to actually build an addition in their home, then they were going to be able to get the solar system. So that's one of the things, that's like the freedom that you don't have sometimes when someone says, you know what, you can't do this. Or if you want a larger greenhouse and you need a permit for it, or if you want a workshop and you need a permit for it. If they say no, they say no. It's rare that they'll say no, but it could happen. I mean, it does happen. That's, I guess, the freedom of just doing whatever you want with your land. If I want to build 3 homes, 4 homes on my land, I can without a permit.
All right, this one here is 279, almost 280.
Where's the location?
It's also close to North Bay.
Okay.
It's called Astorville, Ontario.
26 plus acres. Tax 542. This is unorganized, no?
Unnecessary.
No? Road access.
Zoning RR.
Is that rural?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's power lines there.
Oh, there's power lines?
That means you don't necessarily need to be off grid. You might be able to get power hookup.
I think when we were looking at properties, one of the things that would be easier for us is if we could actually hook up electricity wise, right? We were looking into that. And when we stopped looking at properties that didn't have electrical hookups, was that a good way to say it? Electrical?
It's not close to the grid.
Yeah. Then we had more options. So if you have more options, if you're willing to go a little bit farther.
Not necessarily more options, but I feel like the price is definitely cheaper.
It's cheaper.
If it's far away from utilities, because most people don't want to deal with having to be, having a solar system and
it's a lot of work.
And a septic.
Yeah.
So all those things.
Most likely this person would have to get maybe a septic and a well, though. I don't think it's hookups to water.
Yeah, maybe they would
but
just have hydro.
Electricity, like hydro. The thing is with hydro is that you don't have to pay for your hydro line if you're close to the road, but there is a certain amount of feet that you have to be close to the road. Once you start going farther into your property, you pay per, I think it's 100 feet. So if you wanted to go 300-400 feet farther from your entrance of your property or where the hookup for the line is, you would have to pay. I think when we looked at it, it was $4,500 Canadian per 100 feet. So sometimes you go on these rural roads and you wonder why properties are so close to the road. That's why. It's because you pay quite a bit of money to have that hydro line. And we didn't want to be close to the road. So when we were kind of looking at the numbers to kind of like how much would it be for us to be farther away from the road, it would probably cost the amount of our solar system. So we're kind of like, might as well go off the grid.
Yeah, another thing I want to mention, we really wanted more privacy, right? We didn't want the neighbor right next to us. Like, our privacy is very important for us. And so a lot of places have a lot of acreage, and you think, oh, wow, I'm probably going to have lots of privacy there because I have so much land. But one thing you have to look is here, the frontage and land depth. Because sometimes the shape of the land is like rectangular, where like the front is only like 100 feet by like 1,000 feet. So like it's a very skinny lot. So wherever you build, you're still going to be beside somebody, even though you have a lot of land, but like it's very narrow, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, we looked at skinny lots and we were so kind of close to the next neighbor, and it was like skinny and long. And so I'm like what are you going to build? So you have to look at the lot and see the size of it.
Yeah, for example, this one says frontage 1,000 feet and depth is close to 1,002, so it's pretty square. So that's a good size. Although if it's irregular, the size, it might just have, it can have a weird shape also sometimes. Doesn't necessarily
the shape of your property.
But yeah, you
important.
Definitely have to look at the shape and see if that would work for you.
The thing is that with unorganized land, sometimes it will not say in the listing. I had a friend that she bought a property and she mentioned to me, actually on the listing, it did not say unorganized. We liked the property. It didn't say unorganized. And when we contacted the real estate agent, that's when they said that it was unorganized land. So sometimes it won't say it, but there's kind of hints, which is the property tax, which is maybe the location. You can check online to see if that township is incorporated, but it does take a little bit of your time to do that. So let's try to find one that's unorganized now.
Yeah, you definitely can find the places where it's unorganized and you search around the area, but an easy way that I found, doesn't always work, but is here on the keywords. I'll just type unorganized, and sometimes they even put it with an S, which threw me off because it's spelled wrong, but it would show with the S, but it wouldn't show with the Z. Some places.
At the end of the day, afterwards, when my husband was actually looking at the map, he could kind of see, oh, this is unorganized, this is organized. And I'm like, how do you know? And he just, so much from looking, you kind of get to know the townships, if that makes sense. So let's check it out.
Yeah, some people, they prefer staying closer to Toronto, which is the biggest city here in Ontario. So the closest unorganized would be here, south of Lake Nipissing.
So Nipissing here, okay.
So here you can see there's 5 close to Port Lord. Let's take a look.
And you'll see that it's above the $100,000 mark. Let's see how big the land is too, because you can buy an organized land that has very few acreages. It just depends, because people can split their land, right, and severance it, so they could sell multiple pieces of their land.
October 8th, 2023 when we're looking
exactly.
at this.
So it depends on when you're looking, don't take our word for it, do your research. Look, unorganized. Very nice piece of property in an unorganized community with some bush and cleared area. This one would make for an ideal home site. Hydro is nearby or build off grid. Many lakes, snowmobile trails, and lots of crown land in the area. Come and explore the great outdoors. Now, is this a community?
Time on Realtor 2 days.
Unorganized community, though.
170. Where do you see that?
What? The
title says freehold. Where
freehold.
Do they say community?
Property in an unorganized community.
Maybe they mean unorganized township.
Oh, okay.
But it does say freehold here. I think it would say
how many acreages?
Timeshare.
Yeah, and it says 5 to 9.9 acres. It doesn't say the exact acreage, right? Sometimes it'll just say the land size, 5 to 10 acres. So
here, the zoning still says RR.
Yes.
But it says it's unorganized here.
Okay.
But obviously, you'll double check to make
Annual
sure that
property
it is.
tax. Look at that, $325. That would be your property tax.
And even if you build, your taxes wouldn't go up in an unorganized township.
The person even has a trailer there already. Are they selling the trailer with it too? Maybe.
In the description,
It doesn't say it. Yeah, they don't give you a lot of information on this one. You would have to contact the realtor.
It's been in the market for not too long,
No.
so maybe they're still uploading all the
Exactly,
information.
exactly. But it looks nice. It's clear too, which is nice. That's a good bonus.
It looks like there's a road.
There's a road already. That's awesome.
Yeah, so like
Those things are expensive.
For example, if you are interested in this property, if it was me, I would call the realtor and ask questions like, is there road access all year round? Like, what's the lot size? And then you can look at the map, ask for like the width and the depth and which side of the road it is, so you can actually go on the map and do some investigation, right? Like I showed you before with the satellite images, see if there's any train tracks, wetland. And when you're looking for budget-friendly properties, like if they're cheap, there's a reason why they're cheap, right? So maybe there's no good road access, or maybe there's no grid, or maybe
there's a lot of
wetland. So,
or even sometimes there is parts of that property that actually is like conservation area, meaning like you can't build on because it's like environmentally protected.
Yeah, if it's not unorganized, then yeah.
Yeah, not unorganized one. Usually unorganized land, you won't find that like that environment protected. So some lands are environmentally protected. So it's something to consider. Now we're going to a new one.
It says 6.85 acres with a dug well.
Okay, so it already has a well.
So that's a bonus. If the water is good in the well, then that
Make sure that if there is something that says it does have a well, you want to get that water tested to make sure that that water is okay to use, like for day to day, and also to drink as well. So that's important.
And here also says unorganized township. Check. All right.
Lot is well treed and well marked as a survey was done in 2022. That's good. Property entrance is from Old Nipissing Road, blah, blah, blah.
Now, this has been on the market for a long time, 270 days. So, I don't remember seeing this property.
I don't remember either. Because we bought our land this year, right? So,
let's see if the pictures will refresh our memory.
In our budget, yeah. This was not, we're showing you stuff. This was not our budget.
So, probably why we didn't see it, like, our budget wasn't that high, so we wouldn't have seen this property.
Yeah.
Annual property tax $0 is probably wrong, so you probably have to ask them.
Yeah.
What is?
But it probably is very affordable.
So frontage, okay.
Wow,
see here?
Look at that.
200 feet frontage and 796 feet. So it's not a lot of frontage for good privacy, like 200 feet. Yeah, it's probably bigger than most city lots, but it's still, at least for us, not what we were looking for, right? We were looking for something at least that was over 300. Like, it's pretty close.
For frontage, you're saying, right?
Yeah, for frontage. Because before, that's what we had in our old house. Was close to 300. Like,
yes.
I don't think we would do any less than that.
Exactly.
Ideally around the 500, and now we're blessed with 1,000.
Yeah, so 1,000, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So, like you can see, like there is different things to think about. Even if you are wondering about like, would I be able to dig a well? Would I be able to drill a well? There's actually a website, at least here in Ontario, that you can go to see how many wells were drilled and dug in your area. So you can kind of get an idea. Maybe can I dig a well? Do I have to drill a well? I didn't know that. We only found that out once we reached out to a couple of people, and they're like, go on this website, put in your address, and then you can kind of see the wells that were dug or drilled. Now, not everyone registers their well on this website, but it's good to know. We saw that there was a mix of drilled and dug wells, so it kind of gave us an idea that maybe we can find water. Usually in Ontario, I think that you can find water, though. I mean, you're not going to drill and not find water, or digging wells is not something very common that you can hire someone, and you can do that yourself.
Yeah, but also like you should look at the elevation of your property, like where you're buying. Is it on a mountain? Because then that probably means you might have to drill deeper, and that would be more expensive. Now I know a lot of you are probably in United States. We don't live in United States, so but like if I were to move into the United States, I would probably search for like what are the best states, like for what we're looking for. The landscaping we were looking for is kind of what we have here, lots of woods and stuff like that. So when I did a quick search, they suggested Arkansas. How do you say that?
Arkansas, yeah.
So yeah, I just did a quick search to see if they have unincorporated places there in Arkansas. And I found some websites that mention a few township names.
Anyways, you have to do your research because I know that unincorporated townships do exist in America, but you don't hear about it too often. I was just watching a YouTube video about this this gentleman that he bought an unincorporated township, and he made an Airbnb business out of it, and he didn't have to get any permits. So unincorporated might mean different things than it means here in Ontario, Canada. So it's important for you to do your research. But what I've seen is that there are people from America that have unincorporated townships that they're a part of, and they don't have to get so many permits or no permits at all. Just depends on where you live. So do your research. That's very, very important. You watch a video and, you know, you hear from other people, but it's important for you to do your research as well. So if you are in America and you know a little bit more about it, you can leave a comment down below. Let us know where you're tuning in from. You know, let us know if you know the best places to buy land, just to help out anyone in the comments.
All right. So
right now, we kind of gave you a little bit of like examples, not a lot, but a little bit, and kind of give you our input in some of the stuff. We can do a whole video that shows like what's the difference between organized and unorganized townships. Pros and cons, that kind of stuff. That's a video that I do want to put out there just because I think people don't understand, and it's good to know the pros and cons of things. Having said that, how much did we pay for our 40 acres of land in the Canadian wilderness? We are in Northern Ontario. We can't say our exact location just for privacy reasons. Drum roll. I'll do a little.
I forgot.
You forgot? Are you serious?
No.
Okay.
Kind of. Was it? It was 100, right?
100,000. So we paid 100,000 for 40 acres of unorganized land. At the time, guys, when we came here, we came during a snowstorm. So that was good because it showed us like the worst case scenario of what we were working with. We do have road access.
And that's the thing. Our price, we were able to get a good price too, because there's like half a kilometer that it's not maintained in the winter. So like we knew that coming in, and since we already had a ATV with a plow, and we have a small tractor that we're going to be putting a blower on it, we knew that we were going to have to take care of that. Maybe in the future we can negotiate with the township to get it plowed, but in the meantime we knew that we were going to be taking on that challenge, right?
And we were okay with it because there are certain machineries when you first start looking for land that are beneficial. I do want to make a video also of like things that would be beneficial that you have, you know, before buying land, or things that you should think of and consider. Anyways, there's a lot of like video ideas that we have. But yeah, $100,000 Canadian for 40 acres of unorganized land. So guys, that's the video. We just wanted to kind of share with you guys a little bit of different lands and pick our brains a little bit about buying land, because I know that's one of the questions that we get a lot. We really want to be transparent on our channel to let you guys know like this is how much it cost. And that's what we're going to do throughout this whole process, is we're going to let you know the costs of things, like the well, drilling a well, building a well, solar panels, how much it costs. If you watched our previous video on laundry, we let you kind of know the breakdown of how much it costs to buy, you know, certain things. So we really want to be transparent, because I feel like sometimes in videos that's missing, right? Like you think, like, oh, but how much is it going to cost, right? So hopefully with us being transparent, it can help you guys out. So having said that,
this video is long enough. We're gonna have to cut it short. But thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And we'll see you soon.
You're gonna have to work on your outros.
I know.
Okay guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.